Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin reporting for the Offshore Gaming Association. That's OSGA.com, your number one source for information on the offshore sportsbook industry. That's OSGA.com. Well, it's Tuesday, September 17th. I have three college football free picks on Saturday, September 17th's card. And keep in mind, folks, I'm taping 4 days ahead of time, so all of these picks lines are subject to change. And our last 30 videos, not bad. 48 and 34, 59%. Not too good over the last 2 weeks, though, as we went 2 and 4 and 3 and 3, 5 and 7. But having said that, we're still 48 and 34. 59% over the 30 videos, which is a couple months period of time. And I know a lot of you over the last couple weeks have thrown some barbs my way because you've had some losing picks. And I get that, folks. Everybody wants to win. Nobody wants to win more than me, and nobody wants to see you win more than me. If you're not happy with the free picks, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, 59%, you could also get my top rated selections that are my paid selections at my personal website. That's rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. Those are the games I personally wager the most money on myself and that my paying clients receive. Now, let's get to the free picks for Saturday, starting with the game between South Carolina at Missouri. South Carolina 0-2 this year so far versus FBS opponents, losing to North Carolina as a favorite in their season opener at a neutral site in Charlotte. And then last week never was in the game against Alabama for the most part, especially in the second half. They did manage to cover as a 25-point underdog on a 24-point loss, but they needed a backdoor touchdown with less than 2 minutes to play. Missouri has rebounded nicely after being upset in their season opener at Wyoming as a 15.5-point favorite, a game they were plagued by turnovers and quite frankly weren't mentally prepared to win. May have taken the Mountain West Conference team a little lightly in that game, and they've since rebounded, like I alluded to, winning their next two, 38-7 at home against West Virginia. Last week, they win 50 to nothing against Southeast Missouri State in a game that really wasn't close from the onset. Kelly Bryant has been a huge difference maker for Missouri, especially in the last 2 weeks. Remember, folks, this is the same quarterback that was a starter at Clemson 2 years ago and then lost the starting job last year to Trevor Lawrence since he transferred in the offseason to Missouri, and it's to Missouri's benefit. Is I know they lost Drew Lock last year, who was a high draft choice of the Denver Broncos, but I'm telling you, Kelly Bryant, not much of a drop off, if any drop off whatsoever. So I like Missouri here at home, laying the 9.5 against South Carolina. SMU at TCU. The game will be played in Dallas, home of the TCU Horned Frogs. SMU currently a 9.5-point underdog at 5 dimes. TCU's began the year 2-0. They opened the season with a win over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then last week they went to Purdue and a sort of surprising lopsided winner at Purdue, and they were beneficiaries of Purdue not being with their starting quarterback Sindelar, and their backup was absolutely terrible. Huge drop off from Sindelar to the backup, and TCU certainly took advantage of that. SMU under Sonny Dykes off to a very nice 3-0 start, including winning in the season opener at Arkansas State. And I know a lot of you won't be impressed by that, but if you look at Arkansas State in recent years, that's a very tough place to win at. They came back with two more wins at home, all against FBS opponents, and they've been rejuvenated with their five-star recruit quarterback, Shane Buechele. Shane Buechele, a couple of years back, five-star coming out of high school, highly touted, went to Texas, became an instant starter at Texas, then lost his job to Sam Ehlinger. Since that time, Buechele has decided to transfer to SMU. He's been solid in his first 3 games, throwing 5 touchdown passes. And SMU has a couple of very good running backs in Xavier Jones and EJ Daniel, or TJ Daniel, excuse me. And they've combined to rush for 450 yards and 10 touchdowns through the first 3 games. Sonny Dykes, excellent coach, underrated coach, came over from Louisiana Tech where he had a lot of success there, and he's got this Mustangs program on the rise. I think SMU is going to do enough in this game to stay inside the number. Wouldn't be shocked to see the outright upset here, but we won't get greedy. SMU plus the 9.5 at TCU. Final game, the Washington Huskies at the BYU Cougars, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Provo, Utah. Right now, bookmaker has BYU as a 6.5-point home underdog. Very interesting. Real red flag was raised for me a couple weeks ago when I saw Washington lose as a 22-point home favorite to California, 20-19. That was a Cal team that was predicted to be near the bottom of the Pac-12 standings, and Washington was one of the co-favorites in the Pac-12. Right then and there, I took notice. Washington did rebound against Hawaii last week with a 52-20 win, but they'll be taking on a different caliber opponent here in BYU. BYU is a very physical, blue-collar type team, and after losing their season opener against 10th-ranked Utah at home, they upset Tennessee on the road, and then last week they defeated USC as a home underdog 30-27. Both games went overtime. Huge amount of momentum for BYU coming into this contest. Keep an eye on BYU quarterback, that sophomore, Zach Wilson. This kid is a future star if he isn't already. I really like his moxie. I like BYU here at home. They're riding a wave of momentum, another chance to knock off a Pac-12 opponent in back-to-back weeks after knocking off a SEC opponent on the road a few weeks back. I like BYU here, plus the 6 at home against Washington. Repeating again, Missouri minus 9.5 versus South Carolina. SMU plus 9.5 at TCU, and BYU is a 6-point underdog, home underdog that is, against Washington. Until the next time, good luck with all your picks.